Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 17th to the 23rd of October 2016. We're coming out of a big full moon in Aries, so very interesting one, this one, as it marks the equinox point. Even though we've passed the literal equinox point, we have the sun in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and the moon in Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So we're on that balancing point of the masculine and feminine as we go into the winter months. We need to rebalance. So lots of energy going on in both of those signs. We have the sun in Libra, but we also have Jupiter in Libra for a whole year and Mercury in Libra as well. So 3 planets there in Libra. And opposite we have the moon and Uranus in Aries. Across that axis, calling us to be the king and queen of our domain, calling us into our expansion, because Jupiter's really the big story here. It's going to last for a whole year, and Jupiter clears away and expands. So when that happens in the sign of flow, which is Libra, we're expanding into a creative new reality, and we're creating our own reality. So a sense of sovereignty there with Jupiter in Libra, near the sun, near Mercury, which is our inspiration. Can we tune in and capture that full moon energy and have the inspiration and the sovereignty to expand and flow and create a beautiful world? And opposite we have the moon and Uranus together, so the moon calling us in to find the real life spark in Aries, the real soul fire, and then Uranus changing the way that we think, changing the way that we perceive, in order that we can break free of limited living and step into the world of possibility. So that full moon there on the 16th, and then we head into the week. So the balance of the Emperor and the Empress, the King and the Queen, that sovereign feeling, finding the power within both, and then stepping into our potential. So sometimes to find the power in ourselves, it helps to go backwards. It helps to go and have a look at when you were really magnificent. Connect with the inner hero or heroine. This often happens when we're challenged and we have to stand on our own and find a way, and when we triumph and we make ourselves proud without anybody else knowing or seeing. It's a very inner, empowered feeling. So maybe have a think back to when you've made yourself proud, when you've stood up, you've stood and been counted, you've made a difference, you've been challenged, you've triumphed, and tune into that energy, because if you've done it before, you can do it again. But if we start to come from that very strong core, then that's where we'll be creating this magnificence going forwards. By Tuesday we have Venus going into Sagittarius, so this carries on the theme of the heart and the head. Venus in Sagittarius is the heart wisdom, because Venus is the heart and Sagittarius is the sage. So again we have this balance of the head and the heart, the masculine and the feminine, and which one do we let rule? Now the heart has been manipulated with emotional programming, so when I say the heart, I mean the real heart, the real heartfelt, the real true emotion. And then the wisdom of that is worth tuning into on Tuesday, because we live in a world where the mind has become the master and the heart has been downgraded into a soppy sentimental state. But this isn't true. We should really start from the heart, start from our true values, what really matters, and then the job of the head is to actually figure out how to get that done, figure out how to realise that. So we need to put the heart back as the master and make the head the servant, while we're in this beautiful masculine-feminine balance and coming out of that full moon, so that we decide from the heart what really matters, our courage, our kindness, our creativity, and then put the head in its right place, or the mind in its right place. How do I get this done? How do I actually realise and apply this? So worth meditating on that on Tuesday as Venus goes into Sagittarius for the next few weeks. Saturn's also in Sagittarius and in the middle degrees at the moment, so it's worth having a look. If we want to find what really matters, then we need to connect with our soul purpose. So again, having a look backwards first and to see, can you tune into what your real purpose is? It's probably not your job title, it's probably not your economic or romantic status, it's something that you actually feel strongly about, something that gives you goosebumps or that tingle of motivation. Because by Wednesday it's worth having a look at your record. Imagine everything that you do and everything that you feel is being recorded, and between lives you get to read the record of this lifetime, a life review if you like. Then what are you recording? What are you creating? What does your record actually say? So this ties nicely back into that inner hero, heroine, to connect with your real triumphs and your real challenges, and it also ties well with the heart and the head scenario. Where are you coming from and what are you creating? So the heart is recorded outside of the body, and the mind is too, to a lesser degree. But what are all your thoughts and feelings actually creating for you? And is it you? Are they your thoughts? Are they your feelings? Or are you able to break free of the conditioning with that Uranus in Aries aspect that I spoke of? Are you able to actually create your own record, something that's true to you and something that will be worth revising? Because we're here to make the most of ourselves, and like I say, that's not in comparison to other people or in order that other people can see. We're here to make the most of ourselves on the inside, to feel that inner value, that inner worth, and to write that story, and also to play our part, because I feel once we start looking at soul purpose, we need to have a look at your contribution, not just what we're getting for ourselves. So what part are you playing in the greater whole, and do you like what you're reading as you get a preview of your life story? And if not, what changes need to be made? So by Thursday we have Mars and Pluto meeting in Capricorn, and this will last for a few weeks as well, so it's a good long slow week, but very, very deep. Mars is the lesser male power and Pluto is the greater male power, and Capricorn is the realized matter. So what are we forging deep inside the mountain? If you think of Mars and Pluto as the forge, so something's being forged there from our passion, from our motivation, deep within the heart. So this is really what is your fuel, what really powers you, and what is it that you're creating deep within your own inner mountain. So making sure that that counts now. We had a look at our record and what we're actually recording over a long time span, but now we're going back to the roots and saying, well, what am I here for? What am I passionate about? And let me just double check that it's still relevant, that it still counts, so that I can build upon that. So we're nurturing and engaging and directing our talents towards our soul purpose. That's pretty much the theme of the week, once we've made sure that we're in balance and also that we are connected to our true motivation. So very, very deep at the end of the week with Mars and Pluto meeting in Capricorn. So we can put this all together by the weekend, and we can consider our past, our present, our future, and even other lives, to connect with the flow, the thread of what our purpose is and what we're here to contribute, and to connect with the inner hero and the inner sovereign that knows that it's capable of meeting life's challenges. And we can nurture the seeds deep within. So the seeds inside of us, as we go into the winter, all the seeds are now under the ground, and they're conceived by our imagination, activated by our inspiration, watered with our love, and warmed by our passion. And once we get into that inner landscape, we don't need to over-plan forwards. We can let those come to fruition in their own time. But this is really a week to get back to the core basics, to do the recalibration, to make sure that we're working from the right part of ourselves, and we're connected with the greater, more magnificent part of ourselves, and also with what we are creating and contributing in this lifetime. So very, very deep week here, not much needing to be done other than introspection and reconnection, but that's what will see us through the rest of the year. As our dreams start to permeate outwards, we can actually follow and walk through the right doors at the right time, because we're confident of who we are and where we're heading. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to connect with these energies more deeply, I'd be very happy to meet you for a one-to-one. That's in London or on Skype, and we can have a look at how this appears in your own chart and timings as well, so that you can make the most productive, harmonious plans, and also reconnect to your soul purpose to help steer you back towards true north. If you'd like to join the online members group, then we're discussing the daily horoscopes, the weekly horoscopes, the monthly energies, as well as surrounding subjects. And this is a beautiful place to just learn and grow over a year in your own time with like-hearted people. If you'd like to spend the winter nights studying astrology, then I have a full 13-module astrology course as well as a 3-module foundation course, which is online with video and notes and membership to the group if you do the full course, email access to me, so you can start to actually engage and learn this for yourself. That also applies to tarot. I have a tarot trilogy, 2 lunar cycles courses, and a module on how to work with the elements, which is called Celtic Feng Shui, which is how to place the elements and the cardinal points in your space to cleanse and harmonise and bring abundance. So if you'd like more information about any of that, please do contact me, zoehind7@gmail.com.